many rules are there, like decision tables. So if you go to the decision rules category, there are some other options like decision table, decision tree, map value we will not use, okay, map value, declare expressions, declare constraints, and there are some other rules like on change. So these are the main categories we are going to use under the decision rules category. So even when condition also will be there, but we will use in a different way. So this thing we will use in the activities, we will not use here. Okay, some other things we are going to use here is some of the things and some of the rules we are going to discuss is, so decision table, decision tree in today's session. In tomorrow's session we will go to these things, declare expressions, constraints, and on change. Okay, so first of all, coming to the decision table. So basically what are these decision rules means? Here first of all we will add some conditions on properties. So first of all we will add conditions on properties, and those conditions we can call in different ways. So suppose if we define a decision table, so the condition will be in one pattern, so means in the if condition, else if condition will be there. And if we take a decision tree, so there only if condition and nested if conditions we can add. So like that, so each rule contains a different way to add a condition. So each and every rule in the decision category, so anywhere any rule if we take, final thing is so adding conditions on properties. So but each rule, suppose if we take a decision table, so the conditions will do in a different way. If we take a decision tree, here we are going to add conditions in a different way. So based on our requirement, suppose in our scenario if you want to use a decision table, so we will go with the decision table, or else the requirement is so we have to use the decision tree. At that time we will go with the decision tree. So like that, based on the requirement of the application or the scenario, we will go with this particular rule. Okay, so anytime, so the thing is same here. So the final thing is so conditions, so adding conditions to the properties, and automatically these decision rules will be called in different ways. I will tell you how many different ways we can call. So for example, if I am taking decision table, so the decision table we can call in three ways. Like in activities we can call, then in the flow diagram, normally there is a shape for that in the flow diagram for calling these decision rules. The shape used is decision shape. Similarly, in the there is one more rule called declare expressions. I will tell you in the coming sessions. In the declare expressions also we can call this decision rules. In the declare expressions also we can call this decision rules. So these are the three ways where we can call the decision table or decision tree. Again, these things I will tell you in the coming sessions. So those things can be called in a different way. Actually there is no need to call them automatically. When we provide the data, it will automatically fire the condition. Those things I will cover in the coming sessions. Actually decision rules also categorized actually under the decision rule also. Some rules we used to call as decision rules, and other rules we called as declarative rules, but both comes under the decision category only, because in both the rules we will add the conditions. Regarding the declarative rules we will cover in the next session. Okay, first of all, coming to the decision table. So main thing for these conditions, so if you take a decision rule, normally the conditions, adding the conditions will be in this format, like adding if condition, else if condition, otherwise condition. So these are the three logics we can add using for adding the condition here. So these are the three types. Suppose if we take a decision table, we will use all these three: if condition, else if condition, otherwise condition. But in a decision tree, we will use only if and otherwise conditions, because there is some difference between the decision table and the decision tree. Okay, so that one we'll see. So I will differentiate both these rules and I will explain later. So first of all, I will cover the decision table in today's session. Okay, the main thing is, so for testing or evaluating the decision table purpose is for testing or evaluate the condition. The main purpose of the decision table is to test or evaluate the conditions, and here at a time it evaluates single condition, or it will test only single condition at a time. That is decision table. So what is a single condition means? So simple example I will do. So decision table, it will test or evaluate single condition only at a time. For example, I told that if you are defining any decision table, normally if condition, else if condition, and by default finally we will have otherwise condition. And for every condition whatever we are defining, for every condition we have to add one result also. For example, if we are adding if condition, for that we have to give one result. For else if condition, again we have to give some other result. So based on the inputs provided by the end user, it will check that condition, and automatically whatever the result we have given for this condition, it will return that result. Okay, like this. So normally before adding the conditions itself, we are going to give some results. So these comes under like static conditions. So these all conditions are static conditions, and the result is also will be static only. So here we will add some conditions. So and for every condition we are going to add some result. For example, if condition 1, some result 1, else if, so automatically from second condition it will be else if condition only. For that also give some result. Like this we can add any number of else if conditions. We can add any number of else if conditions. So for every condition there will be some results. Sometimes you may have the same result also. For example, for this for the second condition and third condition, it depends upon the condition. You may give the same result also. So that is your logic. What is the logic you want to go into add? You can add in your own way. So condition, so this result can be same for second condition, third condition, and fourth condition also. So that depend upon the requirement of the, so what is the logic we are going to add, that depend upon the requirement. And finally, so after adding all the conditions, final option will be otherwise option. So for otherwise, there will not be any condition directly, there will be a result option. For the otherwise condition, there will not be any condition, only we will add the result option. Okay, for example, how the execution will be means in decision table. So first of all, suppose it will check the condition 1. For example, end user is providing some input data for the properties, for the fields. So automatically So normally before adding the conditions itself we are going to add some, so in the column will be there, in the column we will add the property names, because for which property we are going to add the condition, so those properties we are going to add in the top of the column. For example, salary is there, so how to get the result, so here for the salary property we will add some condition like this. If you want to at a time, if you want to add for more than one property, in the next column we will add another column, so like this based on the requirement. So for how many properties you are going to add the condition, so add the property names in the first column and then you will get the condition option, so if condition, else if condition. So based on the requirement we can add these conditions. So how the execution will be means, so first of all it will go to the first line of this condition table, decision table. It will check the condition, and if it is satisfied according to the end user input data, if the condition is satisfied means it will return this result, what is the result we have given for that condition. It will display that result in the output. So normally how means, so the result means, for example according to the pages, so the normally what are the input we are providing, so input page will be one form, right, and the output we are adding many output pages. For example, so we are, let's take this is assignment shape, and after this assignment shape I am going to add a decision. So from this decision I am giving some 2 or 3 outputs I am giving, so output 1, output 2 and output 3. So let's take, I am giving 3 outputs, output 1, so normally we can add any number of connectors for the decision. So output 2, so according to the logic, so here it will check the condition. So normally what are the table we are adding, this table we will add in the decision properties, and then so which condition is satisfied, according to that it will execute this result. For example, if the condition is satisfied it will go to this output, if it is not satisfied then it will go to another condition, then if this condition is satisfied it will display this result. So like this, so here the output means, so different pages according to the inputs provided by the end user, it is going to display a different form. So that form may be first form or second form or third form or fourth form. So those things, so what is the result we are going to add, the same result we are going to add in the output page also. Okay, it may be a message or it may be a different form we can add, so it can be different types. So directly we can, if you want to display any message means it will display message. So after that if you want to send some notifications according to the output, if you want to add any notification message we can add in the assignment properties. So like that so many things will be there, we will see. And see execution, so coming to the execution wise, if condition 1 is satisfied, if it is true means automatically it will return the result. So here the execution will be, at a time it will execute only single condition. So first of all it will execute if condition, for example if it true means it will return this, so it will execute this form, means for example some output 1 means output 1. For example in case if it is false, condition is not true, if it is false means then it will go to the next condition, even the second condition is also not satisfied. And if third condition, so condition by condition it will check, first condition, second condition, it is false, then it goes to the third condition. If it is true means okay, now what is the result we have given, it will return this result now, then it will not execute the, so if the first condition itself is satisfied means it is not going to execute the remaining conditions here. So directly it will return the result, and it is not executing the remaining conditions in this table. So until the condition is satisfied, it will check line by line. So each condition it will check, and whenever it is satisfied, it will return the result. After that, remaining conditions if we have in the table, then it will not execute them. Suppose what are the all the conditions are not satisfied, the condition 1 2 3 4. So all these conditions are not satisfied means finally it will go to the otherwise option. So here we don't have any condition. So if any of the above conditions are not satisfied, then finally what are the result we have in the otherwise option, it will display that result. It will not here no condition will be given, so only the result. It may be any result. So what are the result we are giving in otherwise option, it will display that result here. So we will take one simple example and we will execute now. Okay, before that, so I already told you, right, decision table we can call in three ways. One is, so main thing, first of all we will see the flow diagram. So in the flow diagram we will see using the decision shape. See, normally we will not use in the activities, so the process will be again, if we are calling in the activities means again the same activity we have to call in the flow diagram. So actually this is a two-step process. So normally we will in real time also will not use the activities here. Directly add that decision table in the flow diagram using the decision shape. And in the activities the method name is property map decision table is the method name used in activities for calling the decision table. And one more way is declare expressions. See, declare expressions means so performing some calculations on properties. So automatic calculations will be done using the expressions actually. So actually there are it contains some functions will be there, predefined functions. We have to select the required function and just add the condition. For example, if you want to add a decision table means there will be one function called results of decision table. Just select this function, automatically it will display one more row. There we have to select the decision table name. So what it will do means it will automatically calculate the, so what are the condition we have written on that property, it will display the results. We will see with an example. So whenever we are discussing declare expressions, we are going to write some example for this. So define some example, at that time I will tell you. So these are the three ways we can call the decision table in activities, flow diagram and declare expressions. Okay, now in today's example we are going to call the decision table using the flow diagram. So we will see an example with flow diagram because so it is the most used way, so for calling the decision tables. So for that I am going to create some properties. So for sample properties, for example I will take an example, loan type, employee salary, loan amount, these properties I am adding. And under the loan type option I am adding a drop down and I am adding some types like home loan, car loan. So you can add some other types also. So just I am taking two types here, then employee salary and loan amount. So for these properties I will add my condition. So first of all we need to add the properties in the table column. So when we open a decision table, the first thing is, so for which properties we are adding the condition, we need to add those properties in the column. For example, loan type, salary, loan amount. So first of all we will add the properties. Okay, I will show in the tool itself. So like this. So before that, create these properties, create a section, create a flow action, then we will create a decision table, then we will create a flow diagram. So I am creating one separate subclass. We can also do that thing in a separate subclass also. So I will do this thing. So go to sysadmin option. I did not show you right how to create a subclass. So new, under the sysadmin category, class, if you want to create a subclass means, so from the main class only we will create. So the main class name will be there, and after that we have to enter a different name. Okay, after this class structure name, give hyphen and enter any name. For example, so I'm giving a sub1, name as sub1. Click on create option, and the class type will be concrete only. Class type will be nothing, no format. So just we will not give any spaces for that class name, so we can give any name for that. The class type will be concrete. In the version, select the drop. So in the drop down, select the version. Next, so in the starting itself I told you, so concrete classes contain some 3 types. Is a class group, belongs to class group, and does not belongs to class group. So is a class group is for your class structure. Whenever we are creating our class structure, it will be is a class group. If we are adding any subclasses under that main class, then the option we have to select is belongs to a class group. Means this sub1 class belongs to class group called USG-application. Okay, so this will be our class group name, right? So what is the class group name here? USG-application. Remove the name here, sub1, and this is our class group name. Automatically parent class is also your class group. So for every subclass, the parent class will be your class group name. Okay, now go to history. If we save directly, it will display some error messages. We should give the history and description, usage and description. Directly, no need to select anywhere. Once save the class, it will automatically be, so it will be created automatically under the main class here. So again in the subclass we can create all those things. So right click on the class, new. So like if you want to divide a application different modules, we can do it here. So we create a separate module like separate subclass, under that we can work here. First of all, I am creating some properties. Like for example, employee name, Under the loan type, I want to add some values in the dropdown using the create option. In the control, prompt select under the table type, add the values. Yeah, yeah, tell me. Okay. Here don't give any spaces here. So for the values, no need to add any spaces here. Then create the user interface. So just I'm creating these sample fields. Okay. In these fields, for the loan type, salary and loan amount, I will add the decision table. Okay. Meanwhile, create a flow action. Create a decision table. Right click on class new. Under the decision category, select decision table. Give any name, click on create option. Okay, open after this. So when you display the table, so we have a tab like results tab in this option. Go to the results tab. Under allowed results option, I'm giving some results, static results like approve, reject loan, approve loan, reject loan, and manager approval. need manager approval. Okay, giving a results, so 3 results I am adding. According to that I am going to add some conditions. Go to the table option. Okay, first of all, in these columns add the property names. So this is where we are going to add the property names. Click on this dot option. See, first of all, in this first column click on this dot option. It will open a pop-up, and in the drop down select the property name. First of all, I am selecting property as loan type, and there is option called use range and use operator. So loan type equal to, for equal to I am adding the condition. If you want to select any other type, we can also do that one. Now I am adding a column here. So actually I need to add one more property here. For that I am adding insert column after, then add one more property. Giving the property name as salary, and here in this case I am selecting the use range option. Use range means we can give the conditions like start range and end range, so greater than some salary and less than some salary amount. Okay, just selecting the, if you select use range, okay, these are all the greater than, equal to and greater than. I am using the option as greater than, equal to and less than equal to. Click on save. Add one more column. Property name, loan amount. For this also select use range option. Click on save. Okay, now under the if condition, so for example I am taking one type. In this table I am taking for the loan type as home loan. We can also add another type also, but without avoiding the confusion, so just I am taking loan type as home loan, and greater than, equal to, I am giving some input here. If the salary range is in between 10,000 to and less than 25,000, and if loan amount greater than 50,000 to, so 2 lakhs. So if the condition, so if the inputs provided by the end user are in between this range, for this I am giving the result as approve loan. So like this, in if we take any banking application, so like this hundreds of thousands of conditions will be there. So they will give the requirement, and we have to add the conditions in any possible way. So just I'm adding some sample conditions, 4 or 5 conditions. For adding one more condition, insert row after. If the salary in between 40,000, loan amount in between 5. For this also I am giving the loan as approve. For this input, what I am doing is, they are not directly approving the loan, they are forwarding for the manager approval. So without rejecting, so they directly cannot take the suggestion for this. So for that, so they are escalating to the next level, whether to approve or not. So it will directly go to the manager approval. Again, there he need to select whether to approve or reject. So like that, for that again we can create a separate decision table, and again we can give the result as either approve or reject the loan. It will go to the next level for the manager. For this I am giving the result as, so according to the, so if the employee salary is in between 50 to 70,000, so they cannot provide a loan amount of 9 lakhs to 12 lakhs. So for that directly they are rejecting the, so they cannot provide a loan, offer a loan for that person. So otherwise, so like that we can add any number of conditions here. Otherwise I am giving the result as reject loan. If any of the, see here the logic will be, end logic will be applied. So if the, suppose two conditions are there, right, employee salary and loan amount, it will check these two conditions. Normally when we provide the inputs for salary and loan amount, both conditions must be satisfied. So employee salary should be satisfied and loan amount also should be satisfied, means like both are true. True means then true, false means false. First condition is false but second condition is true means then also false. Both are false means like end logic will be applied here. So if both the conditions are true, so then only it will display the result, otherwise so it will be false. So like this, now save this table. Now I am creating a flow, so in that flow I will add this condition. So what are the output pages also need to add, I will do after this. So we also need to add some output pages, so because what result it should display and what should be the content in that page, so that also I will show you. See here we have written only for the only one type. If you want we can add for other type also in the same table, or we can add in a different table. See normally in real time they will create a separate table for that, and they will create a subflow and they will do that. I will give some task for you, you can do that one. We will design a flow here. First of all click on checkout. So by default layout type is here horizontal. I am changing the layout to vertical here. After this is the assignment shape. After assignment I am adding the decision shape for adding the table, adding the connector. In this connector properties add the flow action name. First of all end user will give some inputs in this flow action. then add the decision table. Go to decision shape properties. So by default here the type is decision table only, or else we can select from the drop down. So if we select the type as decision table, then only it will display in the drop down. So whatever the table you have saved, it will be coming in the drop down. The rule name, select the rule name, click on OK option, and now what I am doing is I am giving some connectors. We can add any number of connectors to this table. For your understanding, I am adding 3 connectors here, means 3 outputs I am giving. Normally if you want to display the output means, so we can only display using the assignment shape, means we have to create a flag action for that. From this, so from the decision shape, add connector to assignments, and in each connector properties, so what are the connector added to the assignment, we have to give the result also, means for which connector which result we are passing, we have to add the result in the connector properties. Go to the connector properties, in the previous versions the result will be automatically displayed in the drop down, but in 6.3 we have to manually give the result. See, for example, the results like approve loan, for one connector I am giving the result as approve loan, for other connector reject loan. Click on OK. It is not saved once again. Sorry. Yeah, from the decision to the assignment shape. See here, in this case we cannot give the, so we see when end user provide the input, it will goes to the decision, it will check in the condition. So here we cannot add a connector from here because there should be some, so only for the decision means it will take only one connector. Input means only one input will be there. So output, it can be any number of outputs. So input will be only one input will be there for the decision, and output you can give any number of outputs. So no, we cannot add from the assignment to decision. We cannot add from the decision to the assignment, only it will be there. In the connector properties we need to set the result also. For example, one more connector. Yeah, same as the output of the decision table. So it should be same. Okay. Then see here, after the assignment shape, whenever we are adding assignment shape, compulsory we need to give some connector, right? And compulsory there will be separate output for that. So assignment means, so either according to the condition, either it will give display this output or this. So either only one output it will display, either approve or reject or manager approval, goes to manager approval. So for every assignment there will be a separate end shape will be there. So compulsory assignment means, if you are adding an assignment connector means we have to give some flag action name here. So that one we will create now. So later see here, when it goes to manager approval, again we can include one more decision here, and according to that condition again we can add some assignment like one for approve, one for reject. You can practice those things. I'm directly giving the end shape. Okay, so for these three connectors, yeah, yes, yeah, tell me. We can add, we have to add one decision shape, and after the decision again add some two connectors, give one for approve and one other result you can give reject. Okay, just without adding, directly I'm giving the end shape here. Now we need to create some flag actions. So what I will do is, I will create one message in the section and I will create a flag action, and I will add that flag action in this connector properties. Okay, create three sections now. For one, I'm giving approve section. In that I'm adding a message using a freeform layout. Using freeform, we can also use smart also, but it will be easy. For this I'm giving a message like loan is approved. If you want to change the font and everything, go to the properties, the cell properties, go to advanced option. There is option called inline style editing. Go to that properties, and I'm changing the size of the font, alignment, bold I'm doing. Okay, so just click on save. So I'm adding one more for the reject, so we can also add notifications. That one also I'll tell you in the coming sessions. Not only these messages, so we can also add notification messages also. Inline style editing. Giving sent for approval. Okay. Create 3 flow actions. Go to the flow. For this connector I am giving either it will go to approve or reject or manageable. According to the inputs it will go to it will display the output here. Now save this flow. Select these options, once again save. Click on run button. Now it will display the form where it will take the inputs. which one? Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is the reason. Okay, now click on run. Still it should not display this page. I think subflow it will. Selecting type as home loan. Salary I'm giving 60,000 and loan amount. So according to the 60,000 and 8 lakhs means according to the condition, so it will go to reject only. Not exist. 1 second. Something. Okay, decision rule name is not defined. Yeah, now save. According to 30,000 and 5 lakhs, it will go to the manager approval. Okay, send for approval. Give some other input. Now it maybe it will go to approval. Okay, so according to the inputs, it will check the condition, and then whichever the result is satisfied, it will return the result. And in the background, coming to the background execution, it will check the condition by condition. So first of all, it will check the first condition. Actually you may not know, but here we are having only a small number of conditions. So if you go to the real time, so there we will have some hundreds of conditions. So there will be difference in the execution time. It will take some more time to execute. So after checking, you can find the difference at the time of execution. So here only we have some 4 or 5 conditions. So it will execute. So it will take very less time. So but in the real time, it will take some time, like 20 seconds like that. Okay, it will check line by line. So like first condition, second condition. So if it is satisfied, then it will not execute the remaining condition. Directly it will return the result. And if it is not satisfied, then only it will go to the next condition. So this is our decision table. So the totally different way in the decision tree means, so there also we can define the same condition in the decision tree also. So what are the condition we have defined here, same thing we can also define in the tree also, but the execution will be different there, and also at the time of writing the conditions, the logic also will be somewhat different to the decision table. So there we'll have only if condition and else if condition will not be there, only if condition and otherwise conditions will be there. So but in a different format, in a tree format, we will define the conditions. So that one I will tell you in the next session. Okay, so try to practice this thing. In tomorrow's session we will complete the decision tree and we will move to the expressions also, declare expressions. So we'll discuss these two things in the next session. Yeah, today I'll send the video. I will forward to you. Yesterday's session, it's only some 15 to 20 minutes is their session. Yeah, Harita, that is yesterday's session is only for I think 15 to 20 minutes only, right? So we only discussed regarding yesterday's session, we only discussed about the emptying the values from the PY work page, and another thing is in the embedded properties I told you to try that example. I will share for the others also. I think for Anil I have to share that thing. Okay, how to insert the data using embedded properties. So I told you to given the small task. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you have any doubts regarding that, how to insert the data using embedded properties. If you not done, try it today and tell me if you have any queries in that. Okay, so today's session I will share by within 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so thank you. One more thing is, I just want to know that from tomorrow 7:30 to 8:30 is the time, okay, for everyone. 7:30 to 8:30. Right now the time is 7 to 8 is the time. Is 7:30 to 8:30 convenient for everyone? IST. Just half an hour after that. Whatever we are starting at 7 to 8 a.m. IST. From tomorrow I would like to take from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. IST. Just half an hour after the session. So okay, Anil, is it okay? Sujit, Dani, Harita, Venki. Okay, everyone is okay. Okay, so just remember, from tomorrow the same link, but the timing will be 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. IST. Okay, just remember that point. 7:30 to 8:30 from tomorrow. Yeah, tell me. Case management, I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Thank you. I will share it in. I will upload and I will share and I will upload this thing also.